yeah. I for one didn't realise that before. Well, I didn't realise before sort of planning for this game that the collective noun for a group of ravens is an unkindness.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
They weren't very kind to us, so that makes sense.
Now we know why.
Yeah. They were bastards.
If you get them on their own, they're fine.
bastard
but
of
as soon as there's
ravens.
more than one,
A bastard. That's a singular raven. A bastard. No, a singular raven I always think is a quoth.
Yep, nevermore.
Yeah. I
Nevermore.
was thinking quoth the raven.
Quoth the raven, nevermore. All right, welcome back, folks, to Tales from the 20 Side, Pathfinder 2nd Edition Let's Play podcast. My name is Dom, and I'm your GM for this game and for many others, and I'm joined by our regular cast members of Mr. Stu Jackson,
Hello!
Mr. Neil Kelly,
Hello.
Mr. Darren Mafucci,
Hello.
and Miss Amy Chislett.
hello.
Hello, folks, welcome back. How are we all feeling after that adrenaline pumping chase scene we just started?
Glad we didn't end up in a crevasse.
I could have gone that way. So I feel a bit shaken in my beliefs in myself. Gosh.
Well, not anymore. Now
Well,
you've just helicoptered in with your knife and saved us on the other.
I just needed to do something I was good at.
Like stabbing lots of tiny birds that are trying to eat your face.
Yeah, target practice.
Target practice.
Speaking of eating, I want to know what Neil's eating.
I'm eating raspberries with yogurt.
Nice.
Very nice.
Very healthy.
I'm hungry.
I'm finished now.
I fancy beans on toast.
Beans on, you don't fancy beans on Weetabix then, Darren?
What is that?
No, because I don't have any eggs or cheese to put on it. So
What?
So Weetabix and beans would be okay if it had eggs or cheese on top.
no, not at all. Weetabix and beans sounds horrendous.
Well, remember when they used to advertise Weetabix? They always used to show the picture, and it would be buttered or something, because it looks nice like that. Because if you eat it in the normal way, I mix it in a bowl with milk, it just turns into this grey sludge.
I quite like Weetabix, but the thought of putting butter on them makes me heave, because I can't. I can I use butter in cooking and stuff, but like to have it, people have it like just on a cracker or on bread or even in a sandwich. I get a taste of it and it makes me kind of go. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah.
Blimey.
But like on toast, I'm okay with it, and in cooking, it's great. But just in its kind of like raw format, I don't know what it is, but it just makes me gip.
Is that just butter, or does it include like sunflower spreads?
God, that stuff's even
margarines
worse.
And...
That's even worse. That stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know.
So-
Oh, I
toast.
can't have bread. I can't have sandwiches without it.
I'll use like
That's
a bit
our,
of
that's our
mayo or
sponsorship with
something.
sunflower spread cancelled.
That as well.
Right, so Darren, on toast, so you said the toast still has to be hot from the toaster when
Yeah,
you
yeah.
spread the butter so that it
And
melts into
I'll
it.
have like a little thin scraping,
But-
yeah.
Okay.
But in a sandwich, like if I go to the shop to buy a sandwich or something, I have to make sure that it doesn't have any butter in it. There's been a couple of times I've bought like a cheese salad baguette from somewhere, bit into it, and just got like a mouthful of a chunk of butter, and it's just made me feel ill. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know why, but yeah, it just makes me kind of go.
Presumably, when you're frying a grilled cheese sandwich, you put the butter on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
all right
it's
then.
just
You're not as
when
insane
it's
as I.
Just like
Just partial.
as it is, it's horrible.
That's our sponsorship with Anchor out the window.
It's fatty and greasy and oily, and I mean those are all the most delicious things that a person
What I
can
like,
come with. Yeah.
What I quite like on toast is like I like a drizzle of olive oil and a bit of salt and pepper. That's me.
Blimey.
I have to try that.
Yeah.
Perhaps with a side of skewered raven, eh, folks? Should we,
And
Barbecue raven.
and if you blow your toasters up, listeners, it's not our fault.
Oh dear, I'm going to move on very quickly.
Don't pour olive oil into your toasters. That's
Top tip.
yeah.
Oh dear. Well,
Actually, I got a George Foreman I can do that with.
I still wouldn't recommend pouring oil onto your George Foreman. You're meant to wipe it down with it after, but don't just pour it on it. That's a bad idea, Stu.
No, but I can drizzle the oil onto the bread and then put it in the George Foreman.
Oh, okay. So you can kind of
That's what I'm
bar
thinking.
market stuff.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That makes more sense. Anyway, folks, welcome back to the game. How is it all going?
All right, I really want a
Hungry
sandwich now.
Yeah. Should we get some food?
This is all your fault, Neil. You know what you did.
It's supposed to be on a diet, damn it.
Am I?
No, I am
right.
supposed to be on a diet.
I thought I'd forgotten something important.
Well, you have. You've forgotten I'm on a diet.
There we go. Well, bringing ourselves back into our game, folks. Our adventurers, Olwyn Templeton, Otto von Niederschläger, Brother Amos, and Della Thornbury, have been making their way north along the roads of Irison. Most of them heading eventually towards the capital city of Whitethrone, far to the... got massive hiccups all of a sudden. Thanks, coffee. Making the way up to Whitethrone for business, currently unspecified. Along the way, you're intending to stop at a small village known as Ulsgaard, which is rumoured to have been abandoned for a long time and is also rumoured to be haunted. Your erstwhile companion, Maximus Laurentius, a priest of Pharasma, has asked you to take him there and to aid him in discovering if there indeed is some kind of haunting or undeath present, and also to destroy it. As you were making your way out of the settlement of Come On In, you made some good time along the roads with your sleds before you were set upon by a large swarm, also known as unkindness of ravens, which descended from the skies and pursued you for quite a sizable period of time. After sort of ducking and weaving and racing through the wilds of Irison, putting some daring dog handling manoeuvres in the process, you were eventually able to drive off the last of these ravens. Your new comrade Della sort of leaping in at the last moment to fend off the last of the birds from Olwyn's sled. And that is where we bring ourselves back in. You all watch as the last of these birds sort of break away from your sleds and begin to disperse into the afternoon sky. What would you all like to do?
How's Maximus?
He's looking a little bit injured. You can see he's got blood pouring down his face, and one of his eyes appears to have swollen shut.
He's a priest, though, right?
He is.
I mean,
what's your point?
Physician, heal thyself, isn't it? You know.
That would be a physician heal thyself. Priest heal thyself.
Well, yeah. Priests are healers. That's the thing. Maximus, do you want to give us all some healing collectively? We're all a bit injured.
Yes. One moment. You see, he's as these birds have dispersed, he sort of continues covering his face for a second, sort of fumbles around in his robes for his symbol of Pharasma, and you hear him say, "Lady Pharasma, please grant me the power to ease some of these injuries." And there is a wave of radiance washes out from him, and all of you who are injured will receive. Yeah, you're all getting at least 9 hit points back. So I think that takes everyone to 4, doesn't it?
It takes me to my maximum. Yes.
Does me. Thank you, Laurentius.
Thank you, much appreciated. I hope your eye soon feels better.
Yes, you see, Otter, I mean, I know you think I heal, but, nothing compared to this chap.
So when you said, physician, heal yourself, you really meant it.
I did.
I thought you were just being, I thought you were just making fun of him.
That's
no. Well, no, because he's a priest, and,
Insult to injury. But no, I am impressed.
I'm curious, though, Maximus. Yes, Maximus. I'm curious. So as a priest, you're very good at healing, but that means you're keeping people out of the boneyard. And
yes,
doesn't Pharasma want people in the boneyard? And I'm just, thought I'd get into a theological debate with you.
Oh, my dear boy, no. Pharasma does not wish. Pharasma presides over the dead, this is true, but she does not seek people to die, if that's your concern. No. All it is that Pharasma holds the moment of transition as sacred. Once a person is dead, once their soul has gone beyond, they should be allowed to remain so. She has no qualms about people looking to extend their life by rational means or looking to live a little longer. It's when they seek to break the cycle of death. That's when the Lady of Graves loses her temper.
But no, thank you for clarifying. Yes, no desire to meet her yet.
Right. So as you're kind of having this conversation, Orwin, you all become aware that Della is still on your sled. There's not really a lot of room for all of you. Nadia sort of looks over to you all and sort of says, "Right, shall we come to a stop for a moment? Just catch our breath a little."
Yes.
Yes.
Let's
do that.
It's out of my control. I've got no say in the matter.
Yep, don't answer all at once.
I mean, there's a lot of ravens just then.
Yeah. A lot of dead ravens lying around.
Yeah, and you sort of call this back over to Nadia, and she starts pulling her sled more off to the side of the road. You see, she sort of reins it in, and you start to slow down. Assuming you follow in kind, Brother Amos, you also start bringing your dogs into a deceleration, and before too long, you find yourselves stopped at the side of the road, as noted a moment ago, with a number of dead ravens in your sled.
Can't say, Della, you look very, very impressive when you were slaughtering all those ravens. You could, in fact, you look quite angry. You could be said you were spitting feathers. Owen will spit a couple of feathers out.
Yeah, I was a bit shell-shocked earlier. But yeah.
Shell shock? You were shocked by what you saw? Some sea creature?
Never mind. These ravens, do they look like normal ravens? Can I?
Yeah, you can make a nature roll there, Della.
Okay. I'm going to stick in roll 20. Oh, look at that. 20.
They look like every other raven you've ever known.
I'm very sure that's a normal raven.
It wasn't just a total 20 though, was it? Because you rolled another natural 20
yes,
there.
It was a natural 20.
Using up all your natural 20s.
I know, right?
But for the next 6 months, folks, Amy's rolling nothing above a 5.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll get my D6
exactly how it goes.
You gather that these are normal ravens. Della.
Well, I don't think I've seen ravens act like this before.
Yeah, that you haven't, and certainly with that roll, it's safe to say that their behaviour, at least to you, Della, is very unnatural.
To be the witches.
The witches?
Always the witch.
Oh, do you not know about the witches?
What witches?
So you might have noticed it's a bit snowy.
Yes.
See, where we come from, it's snowy at the moment, and it's not like that normally at all, especially not this time of year. So we decided to investigate why it was getting so cold so quickly, and we ended up going through this portal. It was very, very weird. And we discovered that yes, it's these witches, and there's this head witch who's disappeared. We need to go and find her and bring her back because these other witches have taken over, it seems, and are being shits basically.
This portal you talk about, what did it look like?
It's a great big tall swirly thing that made a sort of and sort of thing.
See, yeah, this sort of thing has happened
You
to
really
me. So
paint a picture, Alan.
Amy, for what it's worth, what Olwyn has just described sounds identical to what Della experienced outside of Riddlemore.
yes, this
Great
does.
big swirly thing.
Yeah. So, as you may have gathered, I'm not from round here, and
No, I didn't know. I didn't know.
I come from the south. I haven't seen so much snow before. But outside of Riddleport, there was this strange pillar of light. But I encountered maybe one of these witches you talk about. Have you seen anyone with platinum blonde hair?
Have we seen anyone with platinum blonde hair?
Not lately.
Not to your knowledge.
No. What colour hair did Izzo's have?
Izzo's was a creature you would recognise as a mephit. She had blue skin with a long pointed nose. She did have what kind of looked to be hair, and certainly, kind of looking at her, you might assume that she was wearing a thick furry hat. That was more grey with flecks of white than anything else.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No. Platinum. They weren't blue, were they?
No, it was definitely a human.
Right.
At least strong with the magic.
Oh, that sounds like yes. Might well. If they're strong with yes, could be. Who was this then?
I don't know. We, myself and a party of fellow people, we got a job, and it sounds very similar to what you guys experienced with the winter. It was just so snowy, so we went to go and have a look to see what was happening with that. And when we arrived there, we encountered a human mage. We didn't all get out, but I woke up here, which is quite far away from home.
Oh. So similar story. Did you have to slit someone's throat and drench some items in their blood as well?
At this, Della's going to take a step back. And no, none of that.
Right. I mean, he asked us to. It was Brother Amos here who obliged.
Right.
He asked me to.
But he asked us to. And yes, we've got these things now. They're quite. We're assured they're quite powerful magic objects now, and we've got to. This is how we're going to get this Baba Yaga, she's called.
Right.
This sort of head witchy person back.
It seems we might be on the same path.
Yes.
If you want to, Della, you can make a religion roll. See if you recognise the name Baba Yaga.
Oh, I do have some points in religion. That's exciting. Let's roll. That is a 5 on the dice. 7 total.
Okay. Yeah, Baba Yaga. It's you're aware that Baba Yaga exists. However, everything you've ever kind of heard about her is very much couched in legend and myth.
Okay.
You've got nothing really to go on as you think on that name.
Oh.
Did you mention Riddleport?
Yes.
Dom, would Alwyn know of Riddleport?
Give me a society roll.
Della's just going to put her hands behind her back.
Ooh, I get -2 on society. I wouldn't worry about it too much. And I rolled a 4, so 2.
Again, Riddleport is a large enough settlement that you've certainly heard of it, and you know that it's got something. There's something to do with pirates and Riddleport, but that's all you really know.
Okay. Right. Yes. No, it's a name I've heard. You say it's to the south.
Yes, Della mentioned it earlier when we met her.
Right.
She said, "I'm from Riddleport."
Oh well, if you talked about all this, I mean, presumably, you know, my
I think
comrades told you all the story about what we've been up to and how we got here. Then.
Not
No.
so much, no.
Oh. Okay. Right.
In all fairness, I was quite drunk. I think I
yes.
still am.
Fair enough.
A little bit.
Yeah, also in real life.
Yes, that's why you were thinking
Yeah.
about driving us off that cliff. Right. Okay. Where are you from, Maximus?
Me?
No, the other Maximus.
I'm from Ulsgaard.
Ulsgaard.
It's another city in the north of Irison, more to
Right.
the northwest.
Right. But you're just here to kill the undead, or to unkill the undead, or however, I don't know.
Yes, I've been wondering for some time. As I mentioned to you back in the tavern, I've not formally completed my training to be a priest. I'm not fully consecrated just yet, but I've been working my way towards it, and part of that was to undertake a pilgrimage and seek out an evil to destroy. And I believe that in Ulsgaard I've found it.
Right. Well, I think we've probably got some brandy kicking about. We can get consecrated together if you like.
All right.
Okay. Going to start drinking with Max, and mechanically, what I'd like to do is start working on regaining my focus point.
Yeah.
But with Maximus.
All right, you can absolutely do that. Yeah. So you sort of start taking 10 minutes to kind of regather your wits about yourselves. Is there anything else that anybody wants to do in this sort of brief period of respite?
No.
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 No worries. So after a few minutes, Nadia sort of comes over to you all, having made sure that the boys are okay, and she says, "All right, well, looks like we're all in one piece. Mostly after that, that was that was some good driving, Amos. Reminds me of my Hjalnak."
Thank you. It was pure chance.
I don't think so. You can be modest all you like, but
What? I thought you knew what you were doing. I put my life in your hands. Now you're telling me it's just luck.
what's this about a jump you almost had to do?
Oh,
I decided against it. I was gonna take the corner at speed, but I decided against it.
Probably best. I'm not sure. I mean, looking at the ridge, I think you'd have been all right, but I can't say the same for the sled. We might have been having to stop to make some repairs, if you catch my drift.
to our broken bones.
I think what Amos really wants to do is get a big ramp, and then he wants to get a big run up, and he wants Otto to turn into a shark so that he can
jump over me.
Jump the Otto.
That sounds amazing.
All right. Well, I mean, perhaps maybe when we've not got such pressing places to get to, you can come back and do that.
Maybe I will.
Without passengers.
There we go. All right. Are you all ready to get moving again?
Yes, we've had a little drink here with Maximus.
All right.
Yeah.
So I know, Maximus. I know you say that Ulsgaard was about a day and a half north of the Playful Come On. Obviously, that's on foot. We're moving a little bit faster. We should get to the point where the road breaks off for the village. Not too long before sundown.
Oh, getting to a haunted village at night. Perfect.
What could go wrong?
You do what you want to do. I'm just saying that's when we're probably gonna get there.
I suppose the undead will be out more at night, so that'll make it easier to get them. What do you think, Maximus? You're the expert.
Maximus sort of looks a little bit surprised that you're asking him this in this when he says, of course, naturally, undead abhor the sunlight.
Yes, don't know what abhor means, but okay.
You won't meet them on a sunny day, that's what he means.
Right. Well, there's not many of those. Look at the snow.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know, ideal conditions for them.
Right.
All right. So, unless there's anything else that you guys want to do with this little break, we're going to get you back on the road.
Let's crack on.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So you all pack up your little side of the road camp and start packing yourselves back into the sleds, ready to continue onwards. Are you using the same distribution of people in the sleds?
Yeah, Della's going to go back with Nadia.
No worries.
She was impressed with her driving.
Yeah, she's very automatic. You get the sense that she's been doing this a long time. She's very good at it.
Can I come too?
It's a little bit cramped for you, Otto.
No,
That's all right.
Don't worry, Brother Amos. I trust you implicitly. we have been fine so far. I know you're only
right,
joking
Otto.
about making jumps too.
We'll have Chardonnay with us. You can protect the boys.
Oh, good. Well,
There you
yes.
You swap places with Chardonnay then, Otto. Sort of hopping up.
Amos, he says you're driving shit.
All right. So yeah, you sort of get yourselves back into your sleds and you continue on your way.
Hello, boys.
Hello. They don't say much. Yeah, you continue onwards, and as you sort of begin to pick up some speed once again, sort of returning to a more regular travelling pace. Yeah, you've got quite a clear day ahead of you. You can see blue sky above you. There's a cold breeze blowing through, but at this point at least, there doesn't seem to be any rain or other kind of precipitation. It's probably quite a pleasant little sleigh ride that you're all going on at this moment in time, as you sort of buckle up on your furs and cover your faces, sort of moving forwards. And you're travelling northwards once again for much of the rest of the day, and kind of almost as Nadia predicts, it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, when you've still got a couple of hours of daylight left. You do come towards a fork in the road, and you can all see, kind kind of off to the east, you can just make out the low, slumped shadows of what looks to be ruined buildings, all aside from one much larger one that seems to be on the far side of this village. But Nadia sort of pulls the sleds to a halt, and she sort of points over and says, "All right, that's Ulsgaard over there. As Maximus has said, well, as you know, it's the reason you're here. Most travellers around here believe it to be haunted. Not a soul's lived there in, well, as long as anyone I know can remember. Me and the boys, we're gonna stay here at the fork and make camp. If you're going in now, meet us back here. If you wanna rest the night and go in fresh, it's up to you."
Well, what do you think is best, Maximus? I mean, you're the undead, expert. This is your mission. We're just really helping you.
Well, as I mentioned, undead abhor the sunlight, so it might be good to use the time we have now to wander in and explore the place, get the lay of the land, see what we're dealing with. And as I say, they are more likely to be active after sundown, which could also be more dangerous. I wouldn't wish to say either way. Both approaches have pros and cons.
Right. And what's good against undead? Garlic or passing water, or
garlic. Oh my dear boy, you've been reading too many stories. No. Garlic is no good. Garlic is no good. Certainly, if you have ever come across a vampire and you're wielding garlic, they will think of it merely as a seasoning. However, other parts of those stories are true. Driving a wooden stake, and he sort of glances toward Della as he says this. Driving a stake through the heart of a vampire will destroy it. That much is fact. But I hope for all our sakes we don't run into one of those here.
What about undead generally? I mean, I've got my rapier here. I mean, is that, or do we want sort of hammers and maces, or
Yes, you want. I mean, it depends on the flavour of undead, really. But your rapier will be less effective, generally speaking, than something a bit more blunt.
Right. Let me have a look in my backpack.
Like 2 fists.
2 fists, perfect, as blunt as they come.
And Otto's pretty blunt as well.
I can be, yes. my poor manners will send them fleeing.
Do you have anything blunt, Della?
I have my heal spell, which has the opposite effect on the undead.
Oh yes.
If you can wield the divine magic, yes, that also will be effective.
Yes, and I can also do that once.
Right, but it seems we're in good stead.
All set.
Yes, but the choice still needs to be made. Should we go in now and scout the place out? Perhaps stay the night, see if we can figure it out, or should we go in the morning when we're at more full, when we're at better capacity?
Anyone in a hurry?
Well, we don't know what we're dealing with, so it might be worse to wait.
Might be worse to wait.
Yeah.
So did you say worse or worth?
Worse. I think you strike while the iron's hot. Myself.
I agree.
I don't have anything blunt to wield, so it's going to have to be the rapier.
I have fleet step in case I suddenly need to abandon you.
Yes,
When-
yes.
when
in
the
case
going
you need
gets
to
rough.
bugger off. Right. Okay.
'Cause
But as we
that's-
said before, you shouldn't be up close and personal with them anyway, should you?
I should
Otto?
not. You're absolutely
No.
right.
No, we've discussed that. Right. Okay.
So it's settled we're going to go and get into trouble then.
Yes, because that's the kind of people we are. Yes.
I think we're about to start heading in. But yes, I don't have any bludgeoning. I've only got the piercing and
No, me
slashing.
neither.
Take my staff. I'll use my powerful fists.
Oh, it's probably a bit big for you, Della. Yes, thank you. Right, grand. I'm going to wield the staff.
For what it's worth, a halfling is a small creature, so they can generally use most equipment that's sized for medium.
Oh, right, okay.
As long as it's not like a massive lance or a suit of armour and stuff. But something like a quarterstaff, I would allow a small creature to use if you wanted to give it to Della.
All right.
Oh no, you keep that.
Well, you've got that necklace that you can get the stakes to,
Yeah.
stick them through the heart like Maximus says.
Well, maybe it's not agreeing with me so far today.
Right. Oh, are there any trees knocking about?
Trees are
there's
present.
Preferably dead ones.
There's a few trees. There's not a lot of vegetation around this village. Certainly not around the outside. There are some trees sort of kicking around.
Can we find a sturdy enough branch that Della could use as a club?
Do you know what? I'm going to say you probably could. I mean, there aren't any sort of dead trees like that. They're still very much alive. Actually, give me a survival roll, Olwyn. If anyone wants to help, they can also make one.
I am quite good at this. Yeah.
I'm not a good.
I got a 13.
10.
10's enough. Amy, you aid Olwyn.
18.
18 is definitely enough. Otto, you also aid Olwyn. So Olwyn, you get +4 to your roll.
Okay, so that's 17.
Okay, 17 total. Yeah, you are able to find a tree that looks fairly sturdy, and between you sort of hop up. Perhaps with Otto and Della giving you a bit of a boost, Olwyn, you sort of hop up and break off a chunk of this tree branch. It's not going to be an amazing weapon. It will serve as... let's just make sure I give you the right thing. Yeah, it will count as a club. So it'll do d6 bludgeoning damage, and it's a simple weapon. So you should have the proficiency to use it. However, because this is kind of an improvised weapon, I will say that this is a shoddy weapon and has a chance to break when it is used.
Okay.
It's literally a tree branch.
Okay.
There's something.
Yeah, better than nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that item will take it will take a -1 penalty on any rolls you make with it, and as I mentioned, it has a chance to break.
Okay. Got it.
But yeah, as you say, better than nothing indeed.
Yes.
All right, and you sort of outfitted with this new weapon, you all begin wandering towards the ruined village of Ulsgaard. What kind of order are you walking in here, folks?
A shambles. A shambolic order.
So who's leading the way for starters?
Well, shouldn't
Shouldn't, yes,
Maximus
shouldn't
take the lead?
take the. Maximus can have the glory of leading us.
If you want him to, he
The
absolutely
honour.
can.
It's not dark yet, is it?
No, you reckon you've got an hour, maybe 2 of daylight left.
Is Maximus a human?
Maximus is a human.
Right, we're going to need some sort of light for Brother Amos and Maximus.
Light, I can do that. And Maximus sort of leans over and touches. He sort of says, "Where do you want it?"
I don't know. It's for you. I can see in the dark, and I know Otto can see in the dark. And can you see in the dark, Della?
Can I see in the dark, John? I've got keen eyes.
Keen eyes. Let me refresh my memory on what that does.
Actually, I have that bookmarked, I think.
I think keen eyes gives you bonuses, but I don't think it actually gives you dark vision or anything like that.
No. Halfling.
Keen eyes. Yeah, you're better at spotting things that are invisible or hidden, but you can't see in the dark.
Okay.
Right. So it's really for the 3 of you. So yes.
All right. And Maximus sort of puts a hand to his holy symbol of Pharasma, and as he does so, a glow erupts from inside his fingers, and he moves his hand away, and that symbol is now glowing with light.
Very handy.
So Maximus is leading the way. Who is behind him?
I'll go behind him.
Yeah, Della will be quite up near the front.
Sure. I'll pop you. You can. You don't have to be single file. You can be sort of walking 2 abreast if you wish. So I'll pop Della next to Brother Amos if you like.
Yeah.
Olwen and Otto, where are you guys?
I'll go behind Della.
Behind Della. And Olwen.
Yes, I'll go alongside Otto with Chardonnay. Well, actually, no, I'll go behind Otto with Chardonnay.
Sure. So Olwen is your tail end Charlie, as it were.
Yeah.
Let's hope nothing bad happens.
Got eyes on your 6.
Here we go. All right. So as you begin making your way towards the ruins of Ulsgaard, can I have perception rolls from everybody, please?
Yes.
22.
Oh, another natural 20.
Hey.
18.
Be careful
30.
burning through all this luck so early, Amy.
I know. I'm going to stick with roll 20 dice, so much better.
11.
Okay, so 11 for Brother Amos. Olwen,
22.
22. Otto,
18.
18. And Della was a natural 20 for a total of
30.
30. Okay. Yes, as you're progressing onwards, sort of through the snow towards the ruins, you can see the sun beginning to kind of set in the west, sort of starting to cast long shadows in the direction of the village itself. And as you all approach a little bit closer, you start to see that these buildings have been here for a very long time, and it certainly seems that as you approach, there have been very few, almost no people here. Della, as you're sort of walking along, you see the path that you're walking on is in a great state of disrepair. Hasn't been maintained in you don't know how long. But you see no evidence of any other people making their way to or from this settlement, or in fact, with your perception roll, you also notice that wildlife seems to have been avoiding this area. There are no signs of any sort of small creatures or birds or anything like that. But and as you all draw a bit closer, you begin to see that the main buildings of the village themselves are basically reduced to rubble. Very few of them are even recognisable as houses. You've sort of got it's a bit like when you go to a Roman villa and it's just like the lower layers of bricks that are there denoting the shape of the house, and that's it. That's kind of all you're seeing. But despite everything else having gone to ruin, you do see at the far end of the village a quite a and it stands out because of its size. You see what might have once been a cathedral or at least a temple of some sort. And as you get a little bit closer, sort of walking through this eerily silent village, you can see that the windows of this temple have all been broken, but you can see just even where the light is fading, you can see carved onto its walls a symbol of a butterfly. And on the wings of this butterfly, you can see there are 2 stars, a sun, and a moon, sort of carved onto the motif of this butterfly. Anybody who would like to can give me a religion roll.
Yes, please.
Oh,
16 for me.
do I need to be trained in that, or can I just roll it?
No, you don't. You don't need to be, but because you're untrained, it's going to be a higher DC.
Okay. I'll have a ponder.
19.
I'll have a ponder. Everyone else is joining in.
15.
10.
Okay. Everybody who rolled above a 15, so I think that's everybody except for Otto, you immediately recognise this as a symbol of Desna. Otto, it's a bit too far away from you. You can't quite make out the full detail of this shape as you see it. So you sort of continue onwards into the village, and as you kind of pass into the limits of the settlement itself, Della, you notice this first with your godlike perception there. The air, the whole time you've been walking towards the village, has been very still. But something happens as soon as you cross the threshold almost of this village. There is a sharp and shrill breeze that cuts through all of you and chills you all to your bones, and you stop in your tracks as this breeze chills you to your bones for just a moment, and then it passes. Della, you hear, along with this breeze, you swear you hear a moan of sorts, like the cry of many individuals. Just for a moment, you sort of hear this mournful wail on the wind.
Oh, there's fell voices in the air.
It did sound something like that, yes, I must admit. I hadn't really thought of it.
It's a symbol of Desna, but Desna's nothing to do with undead. Desna's all about healing and being nice and not doing harm. I'll say this again. Desna's all about not doing harm.
Perhaps that's why the temple is a ruin. The whole town is a ruin.
Does it look like it was originally a temple for Desna that has been sort of there's a word for it, defiled? That's the word I'm looking for.
Okay. No, it doesn't. It doesn't look like it's been. I mean, it looks like it's been ruined, but beyond that, it doesn't have a big sign over it saying "evil now here."
No, okay.
That's what you're asking. Like
Under new management.
yeah,
yeah, kind of
Brackets evil. Close brackets management.
kind of half yes and no. No, I was just wondering, like, does it look like it's still a temple to Desna, or not a temple? Sorry.
I mean, from what you can see and from where you are, certainly without getting closer, it just looks neglected, like no one has maintained it in years, perhaps decades, perhaps even centuries.
Okay. Right. Fair enough. I think that's got to be our destination. Now, what do you think, Maximus?
Yes, it's the. If nothing else, it's the only building still standing. It's There must be something inside it that's keeping it that way.
Unless any of these other ones knocked down have got basements.
They might have. We could have a look.
Did the voices sound like it was coming from the building, or just was it around?
Make another perception roll there, Della.
Come on, godlike eyesight. That's a bit better, 16.
16. It didn't really seem to originate from anywhere. Like you kind of heard it when the breeze blew in, and when the breeze blew away again, you lost that sound, and that all happened so quickly you couldn't really get a pinpoint on where that sound came from.
Yeah.
What would you guys like to do?
I think we should investigate the building.
Yeah.
Yeah, start there. At the very least.
Starting with the temple or with one of the other buildings?
With the temple.
With the temple, all right. So you begin making your way through the village, which again now that sort of shock of cold air has passed, it is back to being very eerily quiet. There is not a sound to be heard. You hear no birds singing. You hear no animals moving. You seem to have found yourself in a place that has been perhaps forgotten by time itself. And as you begin making your way towards the temple, could I have another round of perception rolls, please?
26.
16.
22.
24.
Okay, so all of you will hear this, including Otto.
Even Otto. will hear
Even
this.
Otto. As you begin approaching the temple itself, you can see that the temple itself is kind of at the back of a large churchyard that is surrounded on four sides by a sort of 6 foot high stone wall, mostly decorative, with these large wrought iron gates that are kind of still swung open inwards. You notice that these iron bars, these iron gates, although the rest of this building is in kind of disrepair, what stands out to you about these gates is that they are dented and they are damaged, as though they were forced open inwards.
Oh, no.
And just as you kind of notice this, Della, again, the first to notice this. I think Brother Amos, you got 24? Yeah, Brother Amos.
I got 26.
You got 26. Okay, you all hear this kind of about the same time. Olwen, you do hear this first. Just as you're having a look at these gates, you hear coming from inside the churchyard. Seems to be in the direction of one of the walls. You can just hear tink, 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 tink.
So Maximus, do you want us to wait for you here while you go and investigate and carry out your novice mission?
What? No, please.
Don't worry, he has a singular wit.
Singular. I like that.
Yes, you go on liking that. Alright, I think we should all ready ourselves though.
Okay.
Yes.
You stepping into the courtyard?
I am.
Yeah, Della's gonna draw her club.
So you begin sort of moving forwards with your weapons ready. Brother Amos, as you step into the courtyard, sort of with the group of you not making much effort to hide yourselves, as you step through the gate, you hear this tink, tink, tink sound stops, and as you step into the courtyard, Brother Amos, you can see seeming to be working with a hammer and chisel on the wall itself. You see two humans, both with sort of dark brown hair. One's a bit taller than the other. Just seem to be working on the wall. And as you round the corner there, Brother Amos, they sort of look over to you and they call over. Ah, travellers! Welcome, travellers. Pleasure to have you here in Ulsgaard. Are you looking for shelter tonight?
That's very kind of you. Yeah, yes, I think we are, aren't we?
All right, come on, Morrigan. We're losing the light anyway. Desna would have our heads if we didn't greet travellers properly. Come on.
What happened here?
Here, we don't know. Sorry. Let's get the pleasantries out of the way. I am Pastor Morrigan. This here is Brother Terence, priest of Desna, at your service.
And you don't know what happened
very
here?
Pleased to meet you.
We don't know. We know this place it's been abandoned for such a very long time. We were myself and Terence here. We were both given a vision by Desna herself, told to come here and restore the place.
Oh, that's handy.
Can I do something equivalent of an insight check on that?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. You can. Would you like to sense motive there, Della?
Yes, is that the term? I've heard that before. Yes, sense motive.
Yeah. So sense motive is a secret check. So I will roll that. What's your perception bonus?
Is that in the magnifying glass?
Yes.
10.
10. Okay. Yeah, you sort of look over at these individuals, sort of as they approach you, and they are approaching you. And yeah, you see a pair of quite fresh-faced young men who seem eager to assist travellers and new people in this place. And you would also know that with your religion roll from earlier, Desna is the goddess of travel and journeys.
Can we see what they've been chiselling on the wall?
Perception roll, Owen.
Romans, they go the house.
Oh shit. Do you know what? I get a sneaky sense this is quite important, so I only rolled a 4, so I'm going to use my hero point.
Alright.
And squint my eyes and stare at it really hard. But it doesn't do me any good because I rolled a 4 again. So 12.
Yeah, where the light is fading a bit, Olwen, you can't quite make out most of it. It looks like, if you were to guess, it looks like they were repairing part of the fallen masonry that had seemed to have collapsed on the inside.
Okay.
Well, come! If you're in need of rest, it's getting dark out. Best we get you inside. Can't have you outside in the cold.
What about the undead?
Undead?
Yes.
No, there's no undead here. We've been here a few days. As I say, Desna tasked us to come and clean the place up a bit. We did have a little look around. Haven't seen any undead.
Maximus?
What are your thoughts, Maximus?
No one did you say? There's that's curious. All the stories said that this place was haunted. I know it's just what country folk say, isn't it? You know, the slightest bit of a strange circumstance, and they go blaming the ghosts as always. No. As I say, we've been here a couple of days. There's no undead here that we've seen at least. If you want to look around, you're welcome to find it. Welcome to see if you can find anything. We are here to clean this place up. After all, we can't be having any undeath or haunts around.
Sorry, I'm forgetting my manners. I'm Alwyn, and Alwyn will put his hand out to shake the hand of the priest. I'm doing this deliberately because I want to see if he's got a physical presence.
All right. Alwyn, was it?
That's right.
Pastor Morrigan at your service. Okay. So Alwyn, as you sort of reach out and take the hand of this Pastor Morrigan, your hand finds it meeting solid flesh. However, as you grasp this priest's hand, the skin doesn't feel quite as it appears. And as you take his hand, you notice that you hadn't spotted before the faint smell of decay wafting around this individual. And as you grasp his hand, Alwyn, he looks at you and he says, seems you've discovered something unfortunate. Time for you to renounce your faith as I renounced mine. And his mouth widens into this aghast, ghastly shape. And that's where we're going to end for tonight, folks.
Tales from the 20 Side is a Feagle Films production in association with Juicy Falls. Music by hooksounds.com and editing by Stu Jackson. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Discord by searching Tales from the 20 Side or by visiting talesfromthe20side.com.
I would say I am afraid of no ghost, but I'm shitting myself.
Oh man!
I'll be deploying Fleet Step in the next round.
And Amy, you can't hide in the van.
Oh, I would like to try.